tennis right now, Lindsay Davenport. I'm Leo Levin alongside Andrea Jaeger. And Andrea, isn't it kind of strange that you might think the #2 player in the world would be favored in this match?
It is a little bit strange, especially since she's playing world #1 Martina Hingis, who has been so dominant over the course of her career. But in the last year, she hasn't come away with that many titles. Lindsay's on a hot streak. She's won the last 2 tournaments in a row and is looking for her 3rd today.
And Davenport was extremely impressive in her semifinal win over Monica Seles last night. Hingis had a little bit tougher battle with Arantxa Sanchez Vicario yesterday.
Well, Hingis is the type of player where she comes out and she doesn't necessarily play her best tennis every match. She just plays good enough to win. And that's something that she'll have to improve upon today, because Lindsay has been playing so well. Against Seles, she just really took control and never let up and came away with a straight set victory.
Only 17 years old and #1 player in the world is Hingis.
Resides in Switzerland, and her season today doesn't look bad at all. Prize money, almost $2 million. She's won titles at the Australian Open, which was a Grand Slam, Indian Wells, Hamburg, and Rome. But since Rome, she has not come away with any titles, and her match record, 211 matches won and 46 lost. Titles, 18 titles. She hasn't even reached 18 years of age, and she's already received 18 titles, so quite a record for her.
But her opponent has been the hottest player in tennis the last few weeks, just 22 years of age, and the #2 player in the world, kind of the Rodney Dangerfield of women's tennis. She hasn't gotten a lot of respect, but she's really worked hard on her fitness. A really strong record, 47-10, over $1 million in prize money so far. 3 titles, 2 in a row from Stanford and San Diego, and coming close to 300 match wins.
She has won 16 titles and nearly $5 million in prize money, and these players met a few times previous, but we talked about Martina Hingis' record. She has not been in a final since May 10th, and that was back at that Italian Open. So things very different for Martina Hingis this year compared to in previous years.
Lindsay Davenport had very little trouble getting through, by in the first round, straight sets the other 3, and very impressive in that second set last night against Monica Seles. 3 unforced errors for Davenport, and with the type of power that she was displaying, that's remarkable.
1 minute.
Hingis had a relatively easy path to the finals. She defeated Eva Maioli in the round of 16. Serena Williams, which she was very focused and confident in that match, and #3 seed Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the semi. She dispatched her in straight sets, and Arantxa's always a tough player to beat. Hingis showed her depth and versatility and came through.
Well, they've met 10 previous times. The last time was Indian Wells, just down the road from here, with Hingis prevailing in the finals in straight sets. And what do you expect to see today between these two?
Lindsay Davenport will stay within her game, and that's basically to get a lot of first serves in, have a high first serve percentage, and really cut down on the unforced errors. She has the power ground strokes. She can actually blow Hingis off the court. But Hingis' ability and her strengths are being able to take the pace off of someone else's shots, and she'll probably try to draw Lindsay Davenport in. That's what Monica Seles wasn't able to do in the semis. She didn't move her around enough. She didn't drop shot her. She didn't draw her up to net. And Hingis does have that versatility. She'll mix it up with serving and volleying, putting some underspin, slice, all kinds of shots. And so that could throw off Lindsay Davenport. Lindsay's been playing players who just go out and hit the ball as hard as they possibly can, and that plays into her strengths.
Well, I think it's interesting, too, that you've got the #1 player in the world, and to be honest, I don't think she's going to be the one in control of the match.
She really isn't. A lot of this is just going to depend on if Lindsay can keep her unforced errors down. If she can, she will come away with the victory. When she played her semis against Monica Seles, her first serve percentage was at 66%. She had no double faults. She only hit 14 unforced errors in the whole match. Monica Seles hit 34. So if she can stay within those numbers, she will come away with her 3rd tournament in a row here on the California stretch of the WTA Tour.
Martina Hingis will be serving to start the match.
Play. Love.
And an opening error from Davenport. Lindsay got off to a slow start in her semi against Seles.
She
15
went
all.
down 3 games to love, and she can't afford to do that against someone like Hingis. What has changed a lot about Hingis is players are going out there and saying, wait a minute, maybe I can beat the #1 player in the world. And that's what's helped Lindsay a lot. She's had a lot of confidence. She's beaten top players. She's beaten Hingis already.
Hingis showing that versatility already.
40-15.
Well, she's able to move the ball around the court, and here she gets up to the short one, places it down the line, and has an easy put away, and that's what she'll try to do, is move Lindsay around the court, get herself in the good position, and tire out her opponent.
Yeah, Hingis wants to definitely make this into a running match and not a hitting match.
$40-30.
40-30.
And Hingis. First game.
Martina Hingis holds to open the finals of the Acura Classic. It's a beautiful sunny Southern California day. High temperatures expected to be in the low 80s. Perfect conditions for tennis.
Acura
It really is.
valued customers to
Lindsay,
today's
having
final
played
matches.
last
This
night,
year marks our 4th year
welcomes
sponsoring
opportunity
the prestigious
to have
Stockholm
a bit of a
Women's
cooler
Tennis
temperature
Association
compared
Tour.
to the previous days here in Los Angeles. They had temperatures ranging up around the 90s and 100, and here it's perhaps muggier but cooler, and that will help her because she will definitely be doing a lot of legwork around the baseline.
Well, that's something that she's really been working on in the last year or so, losing weight and getting fitter.
Well, it's so important for her game because she has all the shots. You look at her ground strokes. She has perfect form on her forehand and backhand side. She can hit with topspin. She can hit with a lot of depth. And she has the ability to come up to net. She has good hands on both sides of her volleys. And, of course, her serve is a big weapon. She uses her height well, goes up after it. And so the only thing that was really lacking was
Time.
the concentration factor and having long points, and that came because she didn't have the fitness to last that one extra ball. She couldn't get to the extra ones. Her mobility was a little suspect, and she's worked very hard on that in the last year, and it's really paid off.
Lindsay Davenport,
Lindsay Davenport to serve. 1-love in the opening set.
Love 15.
Good depth from the Hingis return.
Big serve down the middle, first ace of the match.
And that's a shot that Lindsay has really improved over the last year or two. A fine display of the Davenport power.
Well, if they get into a hitting battle, Lindsay will win that one. This time the easy put away. Hingis will try to get her to hit one extra ball and move her around. And even though she lost that point, she made Lindsay stretch.
40-15.
Very different match for Hingis because playing Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, she's used to a lot of spin. She's used to someone that doesn't hit with this kind of pace. So Hingis will have to adjust early in this match.
Another big serve from Davenport, and she evens the match at 1 game apiece.
1-all.
It's that 1-2 punch from Davenport, the big serve. Follows it up, the winner.
Love 15.
Davenport trying to hit down the middle to cut off the angle when Hingis is brought out wide. That's her expertise. She loves getting pulled out a little wide because then she can work the angle and position herself.
And the return of serve set up that point from Davenport. As soon as she hit that ball, she was in
Love
control.
30.
I think it's going to be crucial for Hingis to stay even in the point on that first shot.
Serve.
Because Davenport's returns are so strong and her serve is so strong, it can set her up in the point.
What a stretch from Davenport. It's one of the areas where Hingis can improve upon. She is indecisive upon
Love
coming
40.
in. She hesitated, and just in that fraction of a second, Lindsay manages to get to the ball, almost blocks it back, didn't hit a complete swing.
15-40.
And Hingis saves the first break point.
That time hit with a lot more authority.
Another break point pushed aside.
Lindsay
30-40.
guessed right. She was in the correct position. Smart to let that ball bounce. It's tough in the sun to pick up the lobs.
And the Davenport power gives her a break of serve. She leads 2-1 in the opening set.
Davenport leads
You have to be
2-1.
amazed at the power in which Lindsay can hit her ground strokes and have them still drop in. And again, she's cut down on the unforced errors. She's played decisive tennis and feels very comfortable. When she was warming up this morning, she seemed really relaxed. Didn't seem agitated or irritated. A lot of times when you know you're playing the #1 player and you're getting close in the rankings, you can have a tough time. But here's her record in California. Remarkable, 15-1. The only loss was to Hingis in Indian Wells. She won the last 2 weeks in Stanford and San Diego.
Yeah, a little home cooking can really help the game, and she seems so comfortable on the hard courts.
She really does, and she's one of those players where she doesn't like to be away from home long. She likes to be back at her house, back in her environment. She grew up in California.
Time.
She went to high school in California and really feels comfortable. A lot of her friends and family have been coming out to this tournament and cheering her on. And she's playing great tennis, and certainly confident tennis as well. And that's so important with her game. If she's the least bit indecisive, a lot more unforced errors will creep in.
Well, Davenport has the break. She leads 2-1 in the opening set.
That was a bit of luck from Lindsay. She just got it out of the way and hit underspin on the backhand. Looked like it wasn't even on purpose, and it managed to stay in.
Davenport is in complete control early in this match. It's 30-love.
30-love.
Lindsay is very comfortable up at net. She plays a lot of doubles and mixed doubles. And she's not one of those players that just will stay at the baseline and hopefully never come in. For Hingis. It hits the top of the net and perhaps had a chance to drop in the court, and it doesn't. And she hasn't been showing too many signs of frustration yet. She knows it's still early in the match. She's a dangerous player. She can start bringing up those winners at any point.
But right now, Davenport seems to be the one pushing Hingis around the court. She's got a 40-love lead for 3-1.
And it's a winner.
Right on the line. Davenport holds at love for 3-1.
And hit with such ease. It's amazing. All of her
Davenport
opponents are
leads
playing
3-1.
directly into Davenport's game, and that's to hit with power. They watch Lindsay hit it hard, and they just try to hit it harder back, and that just plays right into the game that Lindsay wants to see. Well put from Hingis. That was a tough volley to make. She was running and turning in the
15
opposite direction, and she hit behind Lindsay, the best place to go. Here she runs around the backhand volley, and she has to be in perfect timing. Good form.
Another winner from Davenport. You know, one of the toughest things to do these days
15
with the
all.
new rackets is to hit a hard ball soft. Because the rackets are so powerful and the players are hitting so hard, it's hard to take pace off the ball.
Great footwork from Hingis. She came in, knew she didn't have a clear
30-15.
put away. And look at this footwork, moving backwards and up in the air, hitting the overhead for the winner. Great balance.
40-15.
Lindsay hit that forehand off her back foot, one of the few unforced errors she's had in this match.
Game point for Hingis. And she holds, but Davenport's still up a break, 3-2 in the first set.
Davenport leads 3-2.
Not too many long points in this match. You would think with the #1 and #2 player in the world, they'd be battling it out 8, 10, 12 shots a point, but that's not the case. Tennis has changed. Women's tennis has definitely changed. A lot more power, a lot more athletic ability, and certainly one of the highlights of the year has been what Lindsay Davenport has been able to do and produce on the tennis courts. Top-ranked American player.
Well, the amount of power that she's been able to generate and the consistency that she's shown over the last few weeks has really been phenomenal. And it puts so much pressure on the opponent when they know there's no safe place to hit the ball.
It really isn't. When Lindsay used to play matches in the past few years, someone would hit a short ball, and Lindsay perhaps wouldn't even go for it because she would think, well, you know, I'll have a better chance at a point that is hit closer to me. And she struggled with her mobility, and as soon as she started working on her fitness and getting around the court, now players have so much to fear. She can do virtually everything.
And the winner today will walk away with $80,000. Prize money in women's tennis has certainly grown since you were playing.
It definitely has changed. The finalist gets $36,000, and prize money keeps increasing at each tour stop.
Well, both these players have already earned over $1 million in prize money this year.
And it's just August.
Love 15.
There's a shot that sometimes gives Lindsay trouble, the low ball to the backhand side. Something maybe Hingis should try to do a little bit more of.
That's why Lindsay has so much success on the hard courts, because the balls do sit up. When she goes to Wimbledon, they stay low to the ground. On clay, she's not used to running and sliding on the clay court surface, so she hasn't had that much success there. But on the hard courts, she can virtually pick her spots.
Hingis seems to be doing all the running right now, and that's not what she wants. She wants to have Davenport being the one running around the court.
All.
Awfully close. already one double fault. In her semifinals, Lindsay did not even hit a double fault. A different kind of pressure playing the #1 player in the world.
Hingis on the attack, but Davenport has the answer.
It's another area that has improved dramatically from
40-30.
Davenport. When people come in, she actually picks her spots and does not overhit. That time she saw the opening, got in position, didn't do too much, just enough topspin to go over the high part of the net, and has a point to go up 4-2.
Such control from Davenport as she holds for 4-2.
Davenport leads 4-2. Oh, 15 love.
Good wide serve there from Hingis. Again, her goal is to really stretch the court, make Davenport move as much as she can.
30 love.
2 quick points for Hingis.
Again, going behind Davenport, a strategy that seems to work
40
pretty
love.
well for her. 40 love.
Game, Hingis.
And the ace from Hingis. It's 4-3 Davenport in the opening set.
Lindsay wasn't quite sure of that call. In fact, she stayed put, saying, wait a minute, looked around, no complaints. And she still is ahead of service break.
To learn more about proper
And
stretching
Hingis is
for
such a
tennis,
dangerous
check
player.
out the
Hingis almost
Sacramento Hospital
likes the
Group.
challenge of someone
Sacramento
being
is a
able to play
leader in
close to her
orthopedic
or
medicine
play
and
confident
proudly
tennis.
serves as the official hospital of the Acura Classic.
Yeah, she's one player that I really wouldn't want to get angry on the court, because when she gets angry, she tends to get more focused. And right now, she's got a little bit to be angry about, because Davenport's been pushing her all over the court.
Well, she has already lost to Lindsay this year. And Hingis is the type of player who really wants to go for the record. She likes being #1 in the world. She doesn't want to be too pressured in that situation. And here's someone who's won the last few tournaments. And as we mentioned, Hingis has not gotten to the final of a tournament since May 10th, which was at the Italian Open. And that includes the French, that includes Wimbledon. There's a lot of tournaments, a lot of Grand Slams during that time period. So it would be important for Hingis to show her dominance before heading into the US Open.
And her big task today is going to be handling the Davenport serve. Monica Seles, who has one of the best returns in tennis, was only able to break Davenport once in their semifinal, and that was her opening service game of the match. Since that point, Davenport has just been unstoppable.
Well, Hingis actually has a better return than Seles in many ways, because she doesn't have to worry about that reach on both sides. She has a shorter, more compact backswing. She plays a lot of doubles, which helps with your returns.
15
What
love.
happens with Hingis is she's getting the serve back, but then she's missing the next ball.
And part of that, too, is that it's not good enough just to get it back against Davenport. You've got to do something with it, or she's going to put you on the defensive.
Oh! 15 all.
Second double fault from Davenport. There's Melanie Molitor, Martina Hingis' mother and coach and best friend.
Sometimes practice partner.
15-30.
Loose game so far for Lindsay. She's been having some troubles with tendonitis in her arm. She's played a lot of matches, 3 tournaments in a row, 2 of them winning, and then now in the finals. It does take its toll. She tried to play the match last night against Celis and had to rebound quickly. This is an early final.
And now 2 break points for Hingis to get back even in this first set.
30-40.
Big serve helps her out. They've only been on court 20 minutes. Quick games.
Lindsay really chased that toss. Big second serve here. And Davenport gives away the game. It's 4-all.
Lindsay had an opportunity to do virtually anything with that high ball. She was so anxious to get in and didn't stop running. She just ran right through it. So Hingis escapes, brings it even to 4 games all.
Thank you. Quiet, please. Thank you. Oh! 15 love.
And this is where Lindsay has to be careful. In the past, she's had a history of losing concentration and losing confidence in the middle of matches.
For sure. Love.
Over anxious on that particular forehand. The last 2 games have not been vintage Davenport.
40 long.
Smart serve from Hingis. She always seems to know what to do in a particular situation.
Her second ace of the match. And Martina Hingis leads 5-4 at the Acura Classic.
How quickly things change. Lindsay serving at 4-3, had a setup on the forehand volley and missed it. And now she'll be serving to stay in this first set.
Yeah, in the past, Davenport had a history of kind of playing roller coaster type matches where she would play 3 or 4 or 5 really good games, and then all of a sudden she'd go away. She'd make one mistake, and then it would be 7 or 8 in a row.
Yeah, she would definitely get affected by a mistake that perhaps she thought, oh, that's not the kind of tennis I want to be playing. But true champions have to rebound quickly, and that's what she's been successful in doing over the course of time.
Well, she showed it last night. She lost the first 3 games to Celis, and it really looked like she wasn't quite there. And next thing you know, it's 6-4, 4-1, and then 5-1, and she was in complete control.
It'll be interesting to see how she rebounds here. In previous matches, she has been pushed to the test, and she has recovered nicely. And her serve is the advantage. She hasn't been serving so well today, and it is difficult. I've played a lot of matches where you play a semis at night, and then you have to come back the very next day and play, and you have to adjust to that situation. She's serving with new tennis balls, could be to her advantage. Just gets the line. And also she's playing an opponent now who's not making as many unforced errors as Celis did in her semifinals.
You can really feel the momentum has shifted firmly into the Hingis side right now.
And it almost seems out of not necessarily a lack of belief, but emotional letdown.
Third double fault from Davenport. She's down love 30.
That's the kind of tennis Davenport wants. She wants Hingis to be on the run. And look how freely she's able to hit that ball. Even though she missed, she had a chance at it. Moves around the court so gracefully.
And 2 set points now for Martina Hingis. one set point save.
Lindsay did well to hit extra spin on that serve, and it kicked up. Hingis couldn't handle it. Still has another chance at a set point.
So Martina Hingis takes the opening set 6-4.
From the English Football League this weekend with 3 live games. Only on Fox Sports, your Premiership channel. Sunday night, the World Motorcycle Championships from Brno with the Czech Grand Prix. And only Fox Sports has all classes, the 125s, 250s and 500s live. Doing still on top of the championship table, looking strong as ever. But with the RG and Greville just around the corner, he can't afford to ease off the throttle just yet. Don't miss it. Exclusively live, the World Motorcycle Championship from the Czech Republic, Sunday night at 7, Fox Sports.
Boston Common in the Comedy Channel's Canned Laughter Half Hour.
But this ratchet, I want my cigarette! My cigarette!
Boyd's cracking up under the pressure of love.
She knows you want her, Boyd.
Hey.
I didn't know you were after me.
Oh, I'm after you. But
We have to be just friends, Boyd.
So the battle continues.
You don't call her Poodle.
Oh, I can call her Poodle. You can't call her Poodle.
Poodle.
Don't answer.
Doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Boston Common in the Comedy Channel's Canned Laughter Half Hour, Wednesdays at 10:30.
They say if you've made it in New York, you've made it in the big time.
Unbelievable result.
Pat Rafter returns to Flushing Meadows to defend his title at the US Open.
What a shot!
14 fever pitch days, $10 million heart-pounding dollars. This event promises unparalleled excitement.
Sensational.
Tennis so hot, it'll bake the Big Apple. The US Open starts Tuesday, September 1st, live on Fox Sports.
Lindsay Davenport, who had been dominant on serve, been broken now her last 2 service games. And Hingis will serve to start the second set.
Beautifully placed. Hingis gives a look over saying, wait a minute, I thought I was hitting a winner. And look at this, right down the line. How did Davenport get to this? And she gets enough underspin on it, and it goes right by Hingis. Perhaps that will brighten the spirit for Davenport, having lost that first set.
Love 30.
And now a love 30 opportunity for Davenport. Just the first double fault from Hingis.
That looked like a tired forehand. She really didn't get in position, just flailed out at it.
30 all.
And the third ace from Hingis gets her back even at 30 all.
Hingis, things have changed. The tide has turned. Hingis in complete control so far.
And Davenport powers back to deuce.
But this is a big game because for Lindsay, having lost that first set, Good look at her backhand. She loves swinging down on the ball. Powerful stuff, Lindsay Davenport. Where were those shots when she was serving them 4 games to 3 in the first set, she must be thinking.
She really looks like she's loosened up a little bit, relaxed a little bit, and those last 2 shots were just explosive.
What a comeback from Hingis.
Her 4th ace saves break point.
Hingis really is a complete player. And here she can come up and hit an ace, but her ground strokes are so versatile. I mean, there you saw almost every shot. She hit the drop shot with underspin on it. There it is. She brings in Lindsay, and then she has to wait, pivot, and strikes it down the line with just enough topspin.
Both players were walking to the sideline on that one. They both thought it was good. But Davenport will get a look at a second serve. Hingis a bit upset with that last call. Throws in her second double fault.
She goes up after it, and here's her frustration with the linesman.
Advantage Davenport.
And with that errant forehand, Davenport earns another break chance. Hingis has dropped serve just once in the match.
Well, after that serve, Hingis just stepped right inside the baseline, waited for a forehand, and it came to her. She had this short ball.
Advantage Hingis.
5th ace from Martina Hingis. And her serve is not considered to be one of her best shots.
No, but what has happened with Hingis is she's been able to call upon certain things in her game. She anticipates where someone will be going, and she goes for the opposite direction. And that's why she's been so successful over the course of time.
Martina Hingis holds its 1-love in the second set.
First game, second set.
Hingis has such an overall view of what her opponent is going to do, where her opponent is on the court, and where the ball is. And that's something that you just have. It's a gift. It's not something you can really learn if you're playing a lot of matches. She just has this device in her that says, okay, this is what you need to do. You don't have to overhit. She anticipates so well, and because of that, she's almost become a magician on the tennis court. She can come up with anything.
Well, Lindsay Davenport had a 4-2 lead in that opening set. And since then, it's been 5 straight games for Martina Hingis. She's really just turned the whole thing around by being able to handle the power of Davenport. And I think really what ended up happening there is that Lindsay just got a little bit tight when she had that lead.
She really did. She threw in some double faults, a couple ground stroke errors, that volley error that really hurt her. And here she's holding her arm, and I just think she's played a lot of tennis. And the way she plays, because she hits with such force, and these players aren't just playing their matches, they're practicing, they're doing other things in the course of time. She decided not to play doubles at this tournament. Normally she plays doubles. Hingis is playing doubles here. But that does have an effect, and perhaps that with a bit of tension was enough to throw her off course. And now she's serving just to get even in the second set.
Two quick points for Davenport. Just what she needs right now.
That looked long.
Great play from Davenport.
Well placed. That was a tough shot to hit. She had to go low to the ground.
40 love.
This is a ball that Lindsay came in on, and Hingis thought for sure she was going down the line, and the position of Lindsay's racket, it looked like she was going to, and then she just dipped it cross court.
And Davenport.
So Davenport holds it love. It's 1-all, second set.
1-all.
Hingis took a chance. She knew she was already down, love 40. So she thought she might as well go for it. Now the pressure falls back on her shoulders.
First serve.
Hingis fought off 2 break points in her last service game.
Lindsay really can't afford to miss second serves. Those are the place where she can dictate the point and take command, and instead she throws in a loose error.
Good depth there from Davenport. And that's going to be a key for her. She's got to keep the ball deep and keep Hingis on the defensive. So when she doesn't, it's shots like that.
A big serve from Hingis.
30-15.
You could see her speed coming in. Was able to have time to run around the backhand shot.
30-15.
The 6th ace from Martina Hingis.
Impressive serving from Hingis.
She's up 40-15, looking for a 2-1 lead in the second set.
And Hingis.
Martina Hingis leads 2-1, second set.
Hingis leads 2-1.
Hingis really isn't having to fight as hard for these points as she did in the first set. In the first set, Lindsay was a different player. She wasn't making these kind of unforced
Whether you're
errors.
playing tennis or golf, Lily's is the brand for you. Feel good and look great in clothing designed for the active, stylish women of the 90s.
Well, Hingis has definitely picked up the level of her play, but Davenport's game has fallen off a bit as well. And I think that the number of matches she's played, and hardcourt tennis in particular, takes a big toll on your body.
It really has. In this kind of situation, it is the final, so you think, oh, well, come on, it's just one more match. She has to take it. But she was already bothered with some tendonitis in her arm in the previous match, and it's just a lot of tennis for her. Coming up to the U.S. Open season, that tournament's a 2-week event. You have days off in between your singles matches in most occasions, unless there's schedule delays. And here she's just played a lot of tennis, and it's been an emotional kind of tennis too, because all of a sudden she's the favorite. She's winning the tournaments. She's having to do a lot of press coverage, a lot of media interviews. It's in her home state, so she has a lot of friends and family to deal with. And all that for someone who's just 22 years of age, that's a lot to handle. You're number 2 in the world. People are saying, well, what's happening? Are you going to win the U.S. Open? Are you going to be number 1? A lot of questions to be answered. She just wants to come out and play tennis.
Well, she's been doing that pretty well for the last few weeks.
15 love.
It appears as if Lindsay has the short balls like this where she can dictate the pace, that she'll be okay. But if she's pushed, she just doesn't have that extra burst of energy to get her through the point. Hingis, even though she made that mistake, seems to be the fresher of the 2 players on court.
And that could be a factor if this thing ends up going 3 sets. Because for Davenport to win, it's going to have to.
30 love.
Again, goes for an outright winner right off the serve. So 3 quick points for Lindsay, just what she needs to try to even this up at 2 games all in the second set.
And she does. 2 straight service games at love for Lindsay Davenport. It's 2-all.
2-all.
But that's the strange thing about tennis scoring system is you can serve and win games so easily. You have 1 bad game and the set's gone.
That's what happened to Lindsay in the first set. She had 2 bad games, actually.
Love 15.
Concentration has drifted for Hingis.
3rd double fault for Martina Hingis.
Love 30.
Tennis isn't quite as easy anymore for Hingis. She's coming upon players like Davenport, like the Williams sisters, like Yana Novotna, players that can come in and not only cause her a scare, but can cause an upset. That's impressive. Not just anticipation, but the hands that Hingis showed.
15-30.
Quick a foot and then just delicately drop this one.
Oh! 15-30 and a second serve. No footwork there from Davenport.
Lindsay didn't stay with the ball. She stood up. Those low backhands do give her trouble. Hingis was there. She knows how Lindsay loves the forehand cross court.
30-40.
Big break point opportunity for Davenport to get back in this match. She dropped the first set.
She had 2 break points against Hingis' serve the first game of this set, but was not able to convert. And a gift from Hingis gives Davenport the break. She leads 3-2 second set.
Davenport leads 3-2.
Hingis had been serving so well. She's hit 6 aces already in the match.
From the cracks to the throws,
That was a tough place to throw in a double fault and break point.
The game isn't over until
Davenport with a slight opening.
section.
She was up 4 games to 2 in the first set. Couldn't close it out, so perhaps this time she'll be more fortunate.
It's really going to be important for Davenport to get ahead in these games, you know, to keep the pressure on Hingis a little bit in the second set, because that's what, you know, she wasn't able to do that in the first set where she had the lead and she would play a couple of loose points early in a game and give Hingis the chance.
Well, Hingis certainly is a different player when she's playing from behind. There's a lot more pressure on her. And Lindsay had that chance. She had the openings in the first set, but now things are a little bit different. Hingis pulling out a new racket. A lot of times players will bring a few rackets on court and change during the match. You see it more often in men's tennis because what happens is the strings will loosen up. That's exactly what she's doing now.
Well, the kind of pace that Davenport hits, I would expect you would have loose strings after playing a set and a half. Well, this is the final of the Acura Classic. Number 1, Martina Hingis against number 2, Lindsay Davenport. Hingis took the opening set 6-4. Davenport serving up 3-2 in the second.
Backhand still giving her troubles.
Well, Hingis is getting Davenport to move right from the opening shot.
30-15. 30-15.
2 quick points for Davenport. And now she's got game point for a 4-2 lead.
Great serving from Davenport.
4 unreturnable serves, and Davenport leads 4-2 in the second set.
This is the same place she was in the first set. She's hoping to be able to capitalize on it now.
She definitely has to get the ball in play. She can't afford to make those kind of mistakes against Hingis at this stage.
Going in for too much that time, fading on her back foot with the forehand. She's feeling pretty comfortable being up that 1 service break, but she doesn't want to let Hingis get off on this service game easily.
Oh, 30-15.
Again, problems with the serve for Hingis, that time letting it drop.
5th double fault for Martina Hingis. Bright Southern California sky might be causing a little bit of those problems.
40-15.
A bad miss there for Davenport.
Visibly disappointed in that shot.
Yeah, she knows that was important, a chance to get to 30 all.
On court for 45 minutes.
That's pretty quick for almost 2 full sets of tennis.
That's one of the reasons why.
Martina Hingis holds. Davenport leads 4-3 in the second set.
Davenport leads 4-3.
A lot of unforced errors coming in. And often you see at tournaments where players play great tennis in the quarters or semis, and then it comes to the finals, and they're not playing as well. And that's what's happened with Lindsay. She's been playing so well throughout the tournament and throughout the last few weeks. But here, because she's playing the #1 player in the world, and she's playing in the last match of her 3-week stretch, she's starting to throw in more unforced errors. She's just not getting down to the ball. She's standing up, and because of that, some of her ground strokes are floating long.
It almost looks like she's just a little bit tired from all the tennis that she's had to play over the last 3 weeks.
It does look that way because her first serve percentage has not been terrific. And she can't really rely on winning points on her second serve with someone like Hingis.
Yeah, it's really crucial for both these players to get control of the points early in the rallies. And that was something that Davenport was able to do so well against Monica Seles in the semis with her serve and her return. But against Hingis, she hasn't been able to do that, at least not consistently. Lindsay Davenport to serve, leading 4-3 up a break in the second set, but down a set to the world #1, Martina Hingis.
Thank you.
This hit from Hingis. She started off the point well, getting the serve back.
So far in this second set, Lindsay Davenport has lost 1 point on serve. But she was basically in the same position in the second set, in the first set, in the same type of serving rhythm, and she got broken twice in a row.
Lindsay's definitely tired. You can see her last step to each of those ground strokes more labored. She doesn't have the quick footwork as she showed yesterday in her semifinals against Seles.
big point for Davenport there. Get back in front in this game. And now 2 game points for Lindsay Davenport to take a 5-3 lead.
So close. And the crowd showing its approval for the hometown favorite.
Davenport leads 5-3.
Davenport now just 1 game away from evening this match.
Lindsay's thinking of a break here because if she could break, she could start the 3rd set serving, and that would be to her advantage. Of course, Hingis has other plans. She wants to try to change sides at 5-4 and put the pressure on Lindsay. Struck with such depth. And again, behind Lindsay. As soon as Lindsay hits her return, she's scrambling to get to the middle of the court. Hingis aware of that.
It's always a good play to go behind your opponent, especially one that anticipates well, like Davenport does. That looked like a lazy backhand from Hingis. She got trapped there by the depth of Davenport's return. Lindsay now just 2 points from the 2nd set.
Hingis' first serve percentage is going astray. She gets in trouble when she's throwing those 2nd serves, and that's what's been happening in this game. Huge opportunity for Davenport, set point for the 2nd set. Oh, and there it is. The serve comes back, her 7th ace.
That's just amazing. She seems to pick the best times to hit those shots. Another big serve from Hingis, and she has game point.
She really does move up the level of play depending on the circumstance. She doesn't come out and just route people. She waits and sees what they're doing. Okay, you're going to hit an ace or going to go up 5-3 or 4-3. Let's see what I can do.
So Martina Hingis saves the set point. Lindsay Davenport will be serving for the 2nd set. She leads 5-4.
Interesting position of the match now. Lindsay, you would think, could easily close out the 2nd set now that she's able to start serving. But it really hasn't been that much of an advantage. She was serving so well at the beginning of the match, and then it's tapered off. So it's just a matter of who can cut down the unforced errors in this game to take away the 2nd set.
Well, Davenport's serve has been remarkable. In the 1st set, she held her first 3 service games by dropping just 3 points. Then she got broken twice. In this set, she's dropped only 2 points on serve in 4 service games. And now she has a chance to serve the set out. But she's hoping that the same situation doesn't occur that happened in the 1st set.
Time.
Hingis trying to stay focused. She knows a lot depends on what Lindsay does with the first point, whether she can get a first serve in or not.
Does the fact that Davenport had a set point in that last game and it got away, does that impact her in any way?
Not necessarily. When you're serving and you have those opportunities, then it's a lot different because then you're coming back going, uh-oh, someone's just going to get one more ball back and it'll make a difference. Here she can control everything. She can dictate the pace by getting in a big first serve. There's been 2 points in the match that have been crucial. One was a forehand volley that went out from Lindsay. That was in the first set. And then that overhead. Could that be costly?
Well-constructed point there from Davenport.
She did well to play safe. She didn't want to overhit anything. Just kept moving Hingis back and forth. And Hingis now is a different player. You can see her just turn up the level of her tennis another notch. Impressive ground strokes from Davenport, keeping the pressure on.
30-15.
Now again, just 2 points away from evening the match at a set apiece. Now Davenport has 2 more set points. We're all even, 1 set apiece.
They say if you've made it in New York, you've made it in the big time.
Unbelievable result.
Pat Rafter returns to Flushing Meadows to defend his title at the US Open.
What a shot!
14 fever pitch days, $10 million heart-pounding dollars. This event promises unparalleled excitement.
Sensational.
Tennis so hot, it'll bake the Big Apple. The US Open starts Tuesday, September 1st, live on Fox Sports.
Garrett. You've got to be kidding, Charlie. I'd be happy to have you check my credentials. I'm really getting turned on by the California sun.
Jacqueline Smith, one of Charlie's Angels on TV1.
He's an all-Australian captain. He's acknowledged as the best centre-half forward in the game. He's Wayne Carey. Stick to what you know best. Stick to Fox Sports. This weekend on Fox Sports 2, the battle lines are drawn when Newcastle take on Adelaide. Auckland clash with Manly. And Illawarra head-to-head with Canterbury in the final round of the NRL live. Then we're off to Wrigley Field as the Houston Astros take on the Chicago Cubs in Major League Baseball, live and exclusive. And the Wallabies battle the Springboks in the Tri-Nations Decider. The weekend always rocks on Fox.
Coming down to the wire. It'll be a matter of concentration now. Who can have the least amount of unforced errors? Hingis will serve with new tennis balls.
Go! 15 long.
2 quick points for Hingis to start the third set.
Well, the first point of any game is so important, and for Lindsay to come out that first point and miss the return just gave a breath of new, fresh air to Hingis, because there she just dropped the second set. She had to be frustrated. Play for Lindsay to let that bounce. Normally you'd say get in there right away and hit the ball on the fly, but she did that once and made a mistake. This time she wants to be sure she wins the point. Ball bounces perfectly for her.
40-30.
The open stance, perhaps her legs getting a bit weary on that shot.
Game point for Hingis. Opening game of the final set.
It's remarkable that they played 2 sets in just an hour. A lot of quick points. Both players do not take a lot of time in between serves, in between points.
Advantage Hingis.
A little too much on that backhand. And the 8th ace from Martina Hingis gives her the opening game of the third set.
First game, final set.
Good recovery from Hingis after dropping that second set. Comes back and closes out the game with an ace. And this is more of an irritant to Hingis. Well, okay, fine, I have to play 3 sets. She doesn't seem to change her focus and the point of, okay, I know I have to win this match. I'll do whatever it takes. And she's not that concerned that it's gone to 3 sets.
But Lindsay Davenport has to be feeling a little bit better about her chances. You know, she let that first set get away from her, but she served extremely well in the second set, losing just 3 points on serve. And you would think that if she can maintain that kind of momentum, that the pressure really starts to shift to Hingis.
Well, it does. In this situation for Lindsay, she really has to be happy with the result. She could have been out of here in 2 sets. She did lose those chances in the first set, but now it comes down to, you know, who wants it more? Can you run down every ball and get 1 extra shot back in the court? Can you cut down the unforced errors and the double faults? And with the pressures of playing in a third set in a final, the #1 against the #2 player in the world, those are tough things to master.
Lindsay Davenport to serve, trailing 1-love in the third set, the final of the Acura Classic.
What a return from Hingis. She didn't even move her feet.
And that's just classic Davenport tennis. Good serve and punishing second shot.
Well, she knows exactly where she wants to hit this ball. She loves hitting her ground strokes cross court, setting up opportunities.
And there it is again.
Well, the 1-2 punch can only work if she gets in a good first serve. That time she does, takes command of the point. What a point. What brilliant tennis. There a lot of anticipation from Hingis, and has to use the slice twice on the forehand, barely getting to those balls. And the quick smile, she lost the point.
And Davenport with 4 straight winners evens the 3rd set at 1 game apiece.
That was a big game from Lindsay. She had to dig deep. Hingis gave her everything, and Lindsay still was able to come up with winners.
Every game now becomes so important for both players. Each trying to get that little edge. That shot would have worked a year ago against Davenport, but not now. She really shows her quickness, gets into that ball quickly, and snaps across court.
Well, Hingis with the drop shot was a good play, but it just sat up. There's double faults lurking again for Hingis. Timing seems to be off slightly.
6 double faults now for Hingis. And that errant forehand gives Davenport 2 break points.
Well, Hingis had the opening, and she looked, and in the corner of her eye, she saw Lindsay moving. And as she strikes it down the line, she can't believe it. She had the whole court. Great hustling from Davenport.
And Lindsay Davenport breaks for a 2-1 lead in the final set.
This weekend on Fox Sports, the English Premier League season continues as Charity Shield holders Arsenal take on Liverpool and Aston Villa clash with Middlesbrough, live and exclusive. Then we're off to the Czech Republic as Mick Doohan leads the Aussie Assault in round 10 of the World Motorcycle Grand Prix, exclusively live. And we'll join the superstars of the USPGA at the Sprint International. The weekend always rocks on Fox.
Sledgehammer in the Comedy Channel's Canned Laughter Half Hour.
Every death isn't a murder.
Hey, I'm an optimist.
No one knows the streets like Sledge.
Any leads? Not really, but after a few more victims get killed, we'll have more to go on.
Tough as guts on the outside and just as subtle on the in.
May I help you?
Well, ma'am, there was an auto accident and your husband's dead. So go ahead and cry if you want to.
Oh, my God.
Sledgehammer in the Comedy Channel's Canned Laughter Half Hour, Thursdays at 10:30.
Where can you watch the best baseball players in the world? Fox Sports is the place to be for Major League Baseball. This season, we'll bring you live coverage of over 30 games, including the playoffs and the World Series live. Experience America's favorite pastime. Catch Major League Baseball exclusively live. The Minnesota Twins battle the New York Yankees Friday morning at 10. Fox Sports.
You're out! I enjoy going across the middle. Ooh. Intense. 60, 70,000 people are just screaming. Things just don't happen the way you expect. Do you ever get used to it? No.
Time.
Well, this is a good stage for Davenport to be serving with a breakup, because in this kind of match, you really want to have 2 breaks going into closing out a match, because in Lindsay's case, she is playing in her hometown area. She's playing against the #1 player in the world, so you want to have that cushion. You want to have the ability to say, okay, if I have a crummy game, I still have the lead. So this is where she really wants to take control, try to take it 1 point at a time, but in the same situation, try to pull away with both these games. showing her patience. Didn't go for too much. And how she can hit that ball so hard with incredible amount of depth. It's quite remarkable. Chased after that service toss. It's well in front of her.
Oh, great touch.
Lindsay just dips her racket underneath, and perfect timing. And that was a difficult shot. She was racing forwards, didn't quite get to the ball in time to hit it on the fly, and managed to hit a winner anyway. Hingis tried to take the ball on the rise, stepped well inside the baseline. She realizes she's in trouble now.
Strong return from Hingis, set up that forehand.
Hingis does everything with such ease. I mean, the amount of composure she has shown at just 17 years of age is very impressive.
Lindsay Davenport leading 3-1 in the final set.
Davenport leads 3-1.
This could be the game of the third set.
Crucial game for Hingis here. She knows that Davenport is serving extremely well. She's got to stay close, got to keep the pressure on Davenport.
Good playing from Hingis. Solid 2 points. Lindsay went for broke on that. She favors her backhand side. That time didn't quite get enough on it.
Game point for Hingis. Seventh double fault now from Martina Hingis. And again, Davenport tends to force her opponents to go for so much on their second serves. Just the pressure of the Davenport return. They know a good serve in the middle of the box is going to be a winner for Davenport.
And
Hingis holds. Davenport leads 3-2 in the final set.
If Lindsay can hold serve here, she will have gone up 4-2 in every set of this match. And that just really shows her dominance in women's tennis right now. This is her third final in a row. She's won 2 tournaments in a row. She's beaten Hingis this year. She's beaten Sellis. She's really had quite a remarkable run.
And right now, you know, Hingis hasn't even gotten close to Davenport on her serve. In her last 7 service games, Lindsay's lost only 5 points combined. And that, you know the players may not know the exact number, but they know. Both players know how dominant Lindsay's been on her serve through this match. And Hingis has to feel the pressure.
However, in this situation with Lindsay, if she's going to crack, it may be on her serve. She may throw in a double fault or a costly error. So nothing at 3-2, 4-3, or 5-4. Those are tough positions to be serving. So that's why she would rather have a 2-break lead instead of 1. Although she's happy with this result. And for Hingis, she hasn't been in familiar territory as she was in last year. She's only gotten to 1 final since May 10th, and that was at the Italian Open. And now she's in this final, and trouble is lurking.
Love 15.
First point goes to Hingis. The 1-2 punch from Davenport.
Well, it's an excellent play. She hits a serve out wide. Hingis is trapped in the corner. The whole opening is there. And again, able to hit over the ball. The balls bounce up for her. She likes a high ball bounce. That's what she gets on the hard courts here in California.
Great court coverage from both players.
Lindsay knows how terribly important this game is. And each point is crucial. Hingis doesn't look like she has a lot of speed around the court, but she is deceptively fast. What's so fascinating is even though Hingis knows Davenport likes to hit a forehand cross court, she can't control it. They're just hit with too much power. This time it was a short ball. The open court was a down the line, and Davenport chose that route. But normally she likes to hit her ground strokes cross court. Hingis knows that. She's there, but she can't control the power.
2 game points for Davenport to take a 4-2 lead. And great anticipation from Lindsay. Davenport gives her 4-2 lead in the final set.
Hingis just smiles. I mean, that is a confidence booster when Davenport can guess an easy overhead put away, get there, and hit it down the line for a winner. It really does play on the minds of your opponent because that was an easy winner for Hingis. She couldn't come away with a point. Now she's serving to stay in the match. Again, a winner from Davenport. She's sparkling with all kinds of shots. Hingis is looking amazed. This time, Hingis could not have reached it, but she was hoping it would fall long. Does not, goes right in the corner. Expertise showing in Hingis, an off-pace serve.
She finds out that all she has to do to win a point is hit it right on the line.
30-15.
That's her 9th ace to 7 double faults. Terrific tennis out here. Number 1 playing number 2 in the world. Lindsay with a 4-2 advantage in the 3rd set. Hingis will not win a hitting battle against Davenport. Davenport It's too much confidence in that area.
And just too much strength. She's also one of the biggest players in women's tennis. At the 10th ace from Martina Hingis. It's still Lindsay Davenport in the lead, 4-3 in the final set.
Davenport leads.
The pressure now shifts to Lindsay. She handled it well in the last game, but the closer it comes to finishing out this set, the tighter it will become. Lindsay just has to remain focused because in the last few service games, she's hit okay first serve, but then she throws in an error right away, and she can't afford to go down love 15. She doesn't want to dig herself into a hole in this service game.
But the last few games of this match so far really have been the best tennis of the tournament. Both players playing extremely well and extremely focused.
Well, women's tennis overall has just been extraordinary. The last few years, we've had newcomers coming into sight. Venus and Serena Williams, Anna Kournikova, Yana Novotná winning Wimbledon, a veteran on the circuit. Monica Seles playing great at the French, although she lost to Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the finals. So it really has been a tremendous year for women's tennis. And Lindsay, being the highest ranked American, she really hasn't received the respect that she deserves. A lot of that has been because she hasn't won the big one, which has been one of the Grand Slam tournaments, although she did win the gold medal at the Atlanta Olympic Games.
Well, Lindsay Davenport is 2 games away from making it a sweep in the last 3 weeks in all the California hardcourt tournaments. She won at Stanford, she won in San Diego, and she's up a break here in the 3rd set of the Acura Classic.
And again, this is the first point of her service game. Lindsay has been working with Robert Van Hoff since January '96, but she actually worked with him earlier in her career as well when he was part of the USTA developmental team. Comes back strong. And that's such a tough thing to do because normally if you drop the first point of your service game, you're playing a bit more conservative because you don't want to go down love 30. And here she hits the booming first serve, gets in the right position, and because she's inside the court, hits the ball early, takes advantage of it.
Another big serve, and she has a 30-15 lead.
Really, on her service games throughout this whole tournament, she's been doing things at will.
Well, Hingis has earned only 4 points on Davenport's serve in this set.
Lindsay is used to beating #1 players here at the Acura Classic. She defeated Steffi Graf in '96 in the semis on the way to winning the title. And then last year she beat Martina Hingis in the semis before she lost to Monica Seles in the finals. So this could be her year to do both. Beat the #1 and win the tournament. That looked wide. Called good.
30-40.
Here's another look at it. Tough to see in this position.
So Hingis now has her first break point against the Davenport serve in 2 sets. But Lindsay has the answer.
And this is an important game for Lindsay Davenport because a lot of times she'll be playing against a top player. She'll have her chances, and somehow, some way, the match slips away.
Great get.
A lot of factors in getting to that shot for Lindsay. First, it was her increased mobility getting to the ball. Here, the disappointment from Hingis going, oh no. But also Lindsay's reach really played a part in getting to that ball.
Lindsay Davenport now just one game away. She leads 5-3 in the final set.
Women's tennis at its finest.
Davenport leads 5-3.
Breathing a sigh of relief. She faced a break point, fought it off, and now Hingis, the #1 player in the world, serving to stay in the match.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
And you know Lindsay wants to try to end it here. Not have to face that pressure of serving for it.
Absolutely. She does not want to get in that area. People can hit the ball that hard, but they cannot hit it consistently in and with that amount of depth. Both these players are showing what they can do with their ground strokes.
The pace of the shots seems to have picked up just in the last couple of games.
Oh, what a return from Lindsay. All the hard work paying off. She has such belief in her ground strokes and looks for the second serve.
Love 30.
What an opening. She didn't even have to turn sideways. She just muscled that over.
15,
tried to do the same thing, and that was a big point. You're at love 30, 2 points from the match.
Great point from Hingis.
Hingis so calm and collected. Never have we seen a champion this young of age having so much expertise on the court and just knowing what to do.
For sure.
Lindsay Davenport at match point.
The crowd trying to generate a lot of energy into Lindsay's racket. They're wanting their hometown hero to come away with the trophy. The crowd trying to call the ball wide. And a true champion never gives up, and that's exactly what happened with Hingis. And that could have been wide. Lindsay could have been shaking hands. However, no call. Match continues. Excitement in the air. What a shot.
Second match point now for Davenport.
That is not something you want to try at home. Very few people can be that far out of the court and hit it with such power and have it go by Hingis for the winner.
Another second serve. She's done it! Lindsay Davenport, the 1998 Acura Classic champion.
What a way to end it. She thought she won the point 3 times. The champion.
What a comeback for Lindsay Davenport. Ahead in the first set, lets it slip away, and then plays 2 impeccable sets to defeat the world number 1.
What a run she's had in the last 3 weeks. 3 titles in a row, beating the top players. She's number 2 in the world. She's just beaten the number 1 player in the world. And she's just really taken over on the WTA circuit. The Acura Classic goes to Lindsay Davenport. She was the champion in '96. Last year she lost to Celis, but no denying her this year.
So there you have it. The 1998 Acura Classic in a classic final goes to Lindsay Davenport in 3 sets. And now she can set her sights on the one hardcourt tournament that means the most for her, the US Open.
Tonight on Fox Sports 2, don't miss our full replay of the USPGA Championship final round from Sahali Country Club in Washington. Join the gallery at 8 o'clock tonight on Fox Sports 2.
Why would 10 apparently sensible, healthy young men accept a challenge most of us would consider really stupid? Because these are no ordinary men, and this is no ordinary challenge. They are the best of the best. The elite, ready to take on everything this rugged continent can throw at them.
Oh, Wally has a spill.
10 supreme athletes, ready to push themselves to unimaginable extremes of physical endurance on the biggest playing field in sports.
From Ginninderra Falls in the ACT, over Barumba Rocks, down the Tully River, across Mount Connor, to Tasman Island. We're on a mission to find the country's toughest Ironman.
Over 5 extreme weeks, who will have the edge to rise above all others on the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Test of the Toughest? Island Storm, Tuesday at 7:30, Fox Sports. September 98, the world's major sporting events continue to make their home on Fox Sports. Rugby League, the NRL footy season reaches finals time, and its climax, Grand Final Day 98, is covered live on Fox Sports. Tennis, the US Open, catch the final rounds of the women's, doubles and men's live ATP Grand Slam Cup. Soccer, quality English Premier League games including Man United challenging Arsenal, and then a battle with Liverpool live. Motorsport, Fox Sports thrashes the throttle with exclusively live coverage of the Superbikes and the World Motorcycle Championships. Golf, continuing coverage of the USPGA, USLPGA and the Seniors PGA, including live action of the Texas Open. Rugby Union, the World Cup kicks off in September with Australia, Tonga, Fiji and Western Samoa. Nobody plays sport like Fox Sports. Nobody.
I enjoy going across the middle. Ooh. Intense. 60, 70,000 people are just screaming. Things just don't happen the way you expect. Do you ever get used to it? No.
Thank you, Tim. Let's give a big round of applause for both players for a great championship match. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Jim Curley, who is the tournament director of the Acura Classic.
Thanks, Tracy. This is IMG's second year producing this event, and we couldn't be more pleased. We've had great crowds and obviously some tremendous tennis. I just want to take a moment to thank Acura and Pfizer and our hosts here at Manhattan Country Club. We hope to be here for years to come. And I'd like to introduce Bob Cosme, Acura's Vice President of National Sales.
Thank you, Jim. Well, this is the 4th consecutive year that the Acura division, our dealers, have been the title sponsor of this tournament. And we're very proud to support women's tennis, the WTA, and all the players that played very hard here this past week. We also want to thank IMG for producing the Acura Classic, Manhattan Country Club for the use of this beautiful facility. We also want to thank the hundreds of volunteers and all the ball kids that worked very hard during this past week to make this tournament a big success. And lastly, most important, we want to thank all of you, the tennis fans, for coming out, supporting the players and the Acura Classic. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. All right, now I'd like to continue to do the awards presentation as far as to recognize these two champions that played great today. They played very hard, and we're honored to have the top two players in the world playing in our tournament. I'd like to ask Martina Hingis to come up and join us in the presentation. Martina, we want to congratulate you on an outstanding performance today in a real tough three-set match against somebody that came in here pretty hot in the last few weeks. You played a great week, and I have to say we thank you for all your hard work during this tournament. And on behalf of Acura, I'd like to present you with a check for $36,000 and a trophy for runner-up in the tournament this year.
Martina, I thought you played pretty well today. Lindsay was just so hot. Was there anything that you could have done any better?
Well, I thought too I was playing well. No, but Lindsay just played great tournaments. The last 3 tournaments she played, she won. So she got to keep out take a break now and just let somebody else win the tournaments, you know. Yeah, I would just like to congratulate her. But you know, the tennis is not over. There's still the U.S. Open coming up. So
okay. Thanks, Martina. And Bob, you have something for the winner?
Lindsay, would like you to come on up right now. Lindsay Davenport. Well, Lindsay, congratulations on your outstanding performance today. You powered into this tournament after the last few weeks, winning 11 matches in a row, 2 tournaments, coming in here very, very strong, had a great week, and an outstanding performance with 2 champions today. It's indeed my pleasure, on behalf of Acura, to present you with a check for $80,000.
Wait, there's more.
I got a little bit more, too. I got a set of keys for you. For that Acura 1999 3.2 TL, which will be introduced to the public on September the 3rd. Congratulations. And lastly, I'd like to present you with the winner's trophy as we crown you champion of the 1998 Acura Classic.
Lindsay, you are hot. What do you attribute your success in the last 3 weeks to?
Oh, gosh. I wish I knew, because I'd always do that. But, you know, even the last couple months in the Grand Slams, even when I lost, I still felt like I was playing well. And I was really excited when Wimbledon was over to get back on the hard courts, and especially to play 3 tournaments in California. Here in Manhattan Beach, I grew up about 20 minutes from here, so I was trying to get ready for this season.
Congratulations, Lindsay. Your 1998 champion at the Acura Classic. Back to you.